Hey, hey, hey. It's me, I think. I hope. Hope you guys can hear me. Doesn't say you do down the bottom. Let's uh let's check this bad boy out. Come on. You can do it. You can do it, sweetie.
Can do it.
Okay?
You can do it, sweetie.
Alright. So I am up and running. I'll share this now. Facebook, Discord. Then we can get into the nitty and indeed gritty. The very nitty and indeed. Oh boy. Don't worry, I won't just be constantly shilling and bitching. Yes, I hope I won't. Oh, hey, Chess. Um, not really. Um, things aren't looking too great. Yeah, my shilling's done. I can actually turn off Discord now. Um, yeah. I don't get any good way of saying this, so I'll just say it. It looks like I will indeed be homeless. Because I don't have anywhere to go, at least until Tuesday evening. And then I won't have enough money for a whole week until next Tuesday because you can't afford for what I get. I won't be able to get any place. So I might even not just buy an apartment, not apartment, a hostel room or something, because I might need that money further on down. So it's kind of now a choice between a few days in an apartment somewhere or a hostel, or nothing. Just nothing. Um, but with money in my pocket, so I can at least walk around. Uh, I have been rejected by nearly everyone on Couch. Well, obviously everyone on Couchsurfing. I would accept anyone at this rate. Um, yeah. So those of you who don't know, because I haven't really been uploading much, I have been up in uh, Cleveland for the past week, and it was really, really, really good. I had a great time. I actually had such a great time that I overspent, and I got an absolutely amazing loan off somebody that got me as far as here and whatever money I have left in my pocket. So I'm not going to starve, and I can get back to Manhattan. Currently in New Jersey, in a town called Prestons. I forget what it is. It's pretty much off the beaten track. But the guy who's putting up with me says I have until Monday. but I don't have any other form of income. So it wouldn't make a difference anyway. The prices are skyrocketing. I even thought about doing a GoFundMe, but for some reason I can't do a GoFundMe. I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, I'm currently facing a real chance that I'm going to be homeless. And that'll be probably the case until I've got the last 3 days sorted out in New York. So there's that sorted. Then I've got back home. But until then, I have, let's see the numbers here. I haven't really wanted to look at it too much detail. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I won't be able to practically look at a place until the 11th. So that's the truth right there. I'll get paid on Wednesday. Well, I'll get paid on Tuesday here, but Wednesday back home. So the 4th and the 11th. By the time on the 11th, I'll have enough money to, in theory, buy off enough of get enough money together to pay off a room. Hopefully. And the main reason for that is St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day has skyrocketed everywhere in terms of accommodation price. So I can't find a place that I can actually make work for me. Airbnb, too expensive. Well, I would fucking be grateful if whoever did that for me, yeah. But I've never set up, like when I tried to set up the GoFundMe, it just said something went wrong, contact blah, blah, blah. And there's no one to contact. And I think you need a zip code. So, yeah, I think you need to be an American citizen, have an American address to set up a GoFundMe. I'm currently looking online for places to sleep. Mostly, I thought maybe the subways. I don't know if I'd even be able to feel safe enough to do it. Airports are a no-go, and too far anyway. And also, obviously, benches are off because they put those bloody binder things on. Like 24-hour coffee shops, sure, I can maybe go in the back and grab an hour, but there's a good chance they'll kick me out after that hour. Dude, you can set up tents in Walmart parking lots. Well, I don't have a tent. I'd have to wait at least until I got enough money to get a tent, and I have to find a Walmart parking lot. And in New York, in Manhattan, I don't imagine there's any in the that much space to go around. I'm half tempted just to go up to a police officer and explain my situation. And then, of course, there's the Irish consulate in New York. I don't know even where it is. I'm looking at the map now. Okay, so it's Midtown. I think I'm going to have to go there and explain. I don't know what little or much they can do. It's kind of up in the air right now. Yeah, I looked online and their website is mostly based around trying to get passports applications. which is kind of odd. Yeah, there it is. Passports, visas, citizenships. I don't give a shit about the passports. I'm just gonna have to walk in and show them my ID and explain what's going on and have them tell me honestly, probably bullshit. Like what I want right now is just accommodation, and I won't be getting that for much longer. So I don't know. I'd like to think that's the case. I'll do that. I will absolutely pay them back at a later date. But about us, our services. Okay. What are services? Visas, citizenships, work, documents, assistance, work. Let's have a look. Emergency citizens. Oh. Stuff about the coronavirus. No. It's basically telling me to go to like my travel agent and shit like that. My phone doesn't work over here. In fact, my phone doesn't work at all. The card is fucked. And I found, at least in New Jersey, you do not ask someone to use their phone. The looks they give you. The fucking looks. It's insane. Now, saying that where I am, Dave do have, he has a landline and he said I could use it in emergencies. So this would technically be an emergency. There is an emergency number you can call. Beforehand, the related links, assistance abroad. Mostly about sick stuff, being gay, deportation, backpacking and adventure tourism, health, plan your trip. This is all the standard stuff on holidays. Yeah, none of that's useful. No, I'm gonna have to go to the embassy when I leave here because I'm gonna try out the last of my requests tomorrow, and I really don't imagine it's going to be much in the way good. But look, at this point, I don't want to be spending this whole time bitching. I haven't talked to you guys in a while, so yeah, we can talk about the positives. My time in Cleveland was absolutely fantastic. Loved it. I am right now. The hood. So I'm not going to be wandering around with my little GoPro sticking it in people's faces. But it's not so bad. In fact, I could even scrounge up 20 to get this bad boy, which we will open here, because I want this to feel like an actual, just regular, old-fashioned episode of Low Energy Videos where I talk to you motherfuckers. So how are you all doing? Take my mind off my woes. Oh, and probably absolutely, but we'll see how that pans out on Monday. I'm literally going to go right there from here, which, for the record, is a bus ride and 2 train stops before I get into Penn Station. If I feel like, if I sound a little bit out of sync, well, I actually am. As you can imagine, this hasn't been how I planned this trip. I mean, let's be honest here. When I started this trip going, it was a lot higher hopes. And then, squandering my money before I left, squandering my money when I bloody arrived. Even now, you could argue, why the fuck are you drinking alcohol? I'm drinking alcohol because I'm fucking Low Energy Videos. You're not taking this shit from me. Yeah, look at this. I'm going to be living off stuff like this. No more bars for me. Honestly, I have met some fantastic people. I even, not to get into too much detail, got saved from a slightly similar... God damn it. Damn you, Coca-Cola. Why do you betray me so? Fireball and Coke for that extra sugary goodness. Actually, fuck it. Now, if Coca-Cola wants to sponsor me, or Fireball for that matter, now would be a good time to give me like a really shitty price, because I'll take anything at this stage. I'll pour this in here. Get me some my beloved. My original plan across New York was to go around with something like this. Interesting story about this bottle, but I ended up getting distracted by other things, including going on a fucking bender across Midtown. That was the first of my real financial fuck ups. I knew I was spending far too much money. Like, far too much money at the time. And I was just shit faced. I didn't give a shit. Like, I just like went around like a fucking retard. I went back home and went back to the hostel and talked to Jack's Travels, which you might remember from it. And he went, "Did you just stay out all day getting drunk?" And I was like, "Yeah, in Midtown." Oh, see, this is all my doing. I didn't get jumped. A seagull didn't come down and pick my wallet up. This is all down to me. I'm going to have to deal with this. I'm not imagining to receive any more donations from people. I'm surprised I got as much as I did back in Omaha. I just have to now... I don't know. Like I said, I'll go to the embassy. I can't be the first motherfucker in Ireland, out of Ireland, to make this sort of mistake. The consulate is there to help me out. I don't know to what degree. I'll find it out. And the best... Wait, it's only open for 2 hours a day? Are you serious? crazy. It says it's open only 2 hours a day. Okay, I'll get there in time. But look, blah blah blah. Let's get a bit drunk because Fireball, you're going to be my friend. Because the weather isn't too bad. It's a bit windy. A lot better than it was a few weeks ago. A lot better than it was a month ago. I'm also, it's weird now that I'm almost wrapping up because, for the record, I don't know how I'll do it, but I'm not going to die here. Make that one thing abundantly clear. Unless someone comes up and shanks me, I'm not going to fucking die. So, I don't want to die down here, that's for sure. But what I am worried about is, of course, the downtime. Like, I have, 10 days at the least to kill. Um, and then I've only got one shot to not fuck this up. The options in front of me, I don't know. Like, I look around for Irish tourists, go up and explain my situation to them. Um, I've got nothing I can sell. I should have brought something I could have sold. Jesus. The only thing I have of value is this bad boy, and that's not done. That's gonna die on me. So, yeah. But on Monday, if I don't have anywhere to go, and it looks like I don't, um, the day I'll spend getting to the consulate, and then I don't know, man. I don't know. I won't have a lot of cash to mess around with until Tuesday afternoon, and then I have to ration that shit. One thing I can do at least is I still have my travel card with me from New York the first time, and that still has about $15 on it, so I can get around New York at least. So I guess I'll get a dollar slice pizza and sit down and think about what the fuck I'm gonna do. Um, I'll also talk to people. I'll even talk to homeless people. I will actually go to a homeless person and ask them, like, I'm now homeless and I'm going to be homeless for a while. Where do you go to sleep? And I hope one of them will say more than that alleyway around the corner, watch out for the rats. Hope one of them goes, oh, this homeless shelter around the corner here can help you out. Because that actually happened in Cleveland. The very last time I was in Cleveland, I was heading back to the bus stop, and I happened to get on the bus with this guy. I started talking. He was a very nice young man, Trevor, I think his name was. And sure enough, he was sleeping in a hostel. He also suffered from Pall Mall bloody seizures sent him to the hospital to begin with. But he was now in a homeless shelter, and he was heading back to the homeless shelter when I met him, and he basically said, "Oh, I'm heading back to home show." And a part of me was going to ask him, like, what is there, like, can you give me any advice? Because I think that's where I'm going to end up. And on that note, a few months ago, when this idea started to come in my head that I might have to go to a home shelter or even be out on the street, I asked the first group of people on Couchsurfing. Eventually, I met the guy I'm staying with here. Very nice guy by the name of Jack. Very helpful, very chatty, which works for me just fine. He basically said there was him, but then there was this Asian girl who I talked to, and not only did she couldn't take me, which is fine, she gave me this huge speech about how traveling is a privilege for people who can afford it. And while she was right to ridicule me, she should have been basically pointing out my shitty, poor choices. Instead, she was ripping into the fact that I wasn't wealthy as she was. Like, there's a bit of a divide going on here. Oh my god, I so look fucking homeless right now. At least I look the part. You know? I'm still getting tons of shouts and like everyone loves that fucking jacket and hat, man. I don't blame them. It is great, but oh my fucking god, this is not a good time. Of course, as always, the links down below, PayPal and the like, but not at this point. I'm not even gonna. I think any goodwill was just squandered. I've got only myself to blame. I don't even have anyone I could ask for a loan, honestly. I I really don't know how to proceed, but like I said, I'm not. If I could do this again, all the way from the beginning, if let's just say I suddenly pass out and I wake up and it's 5 or 6 months ago, there'd be a lot of things I'd change. Number one, in Ireland, I squandered about half the money I was going to save. And you know what I did with it? I went out with it. I bought food with it. I bought the occasional game with it. Not even hard copies that I could sell. I buy shit that I didn't need. Absolutely shit I didn't need. Then when I got here, my original plan was to simply throw some money in every week, every week into this big like pot in that would keep somewhere safe on me, uh, an envelope probably, and that would be like an emergency fund. So yeah, I'd end up with, if I needed it, I'd have $100 or $200 or $300. Instead, I ain't get that. You a Jedi or a Sith? Ah, so rigid, so narrow-minded. I am a Force user for sure. You will donate to low energy videos. You will help a brother out. But no, I'm kind of glad I got this hoodie as well because I've been wearing this hoodie now for any time I don't leave where I'm staying. This is my staying in outfit, and I realized today I'm in like 90% American clothes, including this Dunder Mifflin T-shirt, which gets more than once. Ooh, a Dunder Mifflin T-shirt. Faith picked this out for me up in Buffalo, um, which was pretty cool. And she thought it more as an Irish thing, but I'm like, Office. But now people are like, oh, well, obviously you like The Office and you're Irish. And I'm like, yes, it's the only thing about me you got right. But that was a fun time up in Buffalo. It was a fun time. It was a fun time in Cleveland too. I'll tell you now, I haven't had a bad experience wherever I've been. Like wherever I've been, I haven't had a bad experience. This might literally be the worst one and could very well kill me if I'm not careful. So I have to be smart about it. And the most thing I'm thinking of isn't food because I have money in my pocket each week. The problem will be finding a place to sleep. That is my biggest concern. After that, I've got money so I can go to a laundromat, clean my clothes up. As for cleaning myself up, nope. I don't know anywhere I could go. I'm not an American citizen, so I can't go and get like a lot of people say join the YMCA or go to like a gym. Yeah, no, I can't do that. They won't let me. It's like they won't let me start a GoFund page. Or there's this survey system called QMe that was working on a little while ago, and I actually have currently on it $3.10. I can't touch that because it wants you to donate to an American PayPal. Like it actually, you need to have it. You need to put it into one. Mall fountain. Should I sleep in a mall fountain? Because that would seem very cold. Like I'd like to be able to sleep in, for example, Central Park, which would also be cold. but I'd actually feel a little safer from there. It's so big. The axe murderer can't be around every corner. A late night movie, maybe. Then I'd only get about 2 hours sleep at most. Of course, there's a Bollywood film. If there's a late night Bollywood film going on somewhere, fuck yeah, I'll go there and be like, oh, of course, I love Rajahid Navarhibaded in the classic All My Sabers, a 5 hour romp. So I go to sleep and, I wake up and there's this very eager looking Indian person next to me. So what did you think about the movie? It was very relaxing. Bathe in one, just go out there, you swim in trunks or naked, you have some shampoo or body wash. Yeah. I think I'd get on the local news for sure. Local whale spotted swimming. No, what I'll do is I'll go into like McDonald's and places like that and go into the bathroom and just throw some water into key areas real quick. It'll be better than nothing. And I've already got plenty of deo, but I'm gonna need to get myself some spray on deo as well. I'm actually gonna smell like what I am, a neckbeard. On the 11th, if nothing bad has happened, if I haven't gotten robbed, if I haven't lost my passport or whatever, not my passport, my bloody card, what I'll do is I'll find an accommodation and that'll last long enough for me to get the accommodation I already have booked. Because Paddy's Day in New York is, no shock, quite expensive. I think also if I can afford long train rides, not just subway, but like train rides, like an Amtrak going out somewhere. If I can afford like a return journey on that, let's say it's a 4 hour long trip and it's like $17, then yeah, I'll do that. I'll sit in the back and then when I arrive at the place, they'll be like, oh, you have to get off. Oh no. I missed my bus. I missed my train or whatever. So I get off and then I turn around and just get back on the next one. Get a Greyhound. Well, I've been doing the Greyhounds all the time. And they cost far too much. You get Megabus, man. You think Pimp Monk will get on Megabus? Their damn logo looks like him, dressed as a milkman. I'm not even kidding. Look up the Megabus dude. That's bit. I took a picture of it. It's on a GoPro somewhere, and it is just Pimp Monk dressed up as a milkman, looking happy or high as fuck. But no, the Megabus was where I was at. Although I never actually got onto a Megabus. They always outsourced it. Lakeview and fucking South Star. But I'll end up going to. Oh, what's the name of it? If I were to go up to, say, back to Cleveland, 25, that's $50. Because 25 each way. So if I were to do that, then that's $50 gone for one night. That's the same problem I have for staying in hostels or Airbnbs. There's this one motherfucking Airbnb. It's driving me crazy. It's up there near Harlem, and it is $8 a night. That's what it says. So you go and click on it, and then at the end of it, it goes from 8 to like 27. And it's because of St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day is skyrocketing costs of everything. At this point, I think the only way I can get accommodation is if I go to a bar, an Irish bar full of Irish people talking Irish shit, And I sit down, and I start up a conversation with them, and one of them lets me sleep on his floor for the night. That's really it. That's where I'm at right now. And it's scary. And again, I didn't want to talk about all this. I want to take my mind off it. Like, I just finished watching DP, and I was like, "Oh, good! I can actually watch an episode of DP," and it was good. It was what it always is. But then I'm like, right, yeah. And of course, don't forget, when I get back to Ireland, I'm going to be homeless too. But I have the travel pass, damn it. I can get anywhere in the country for free. So if I'm going to be homeless, I am going to be homeless in Ireland with the ability to get about. So I'll probably be like getting up at the daytime and going to sleep at night, that sort of thing. And in the daytime, I'm traveling across the rails. I can also crash at one or two people's places. They said that was okay for a night or two. But including one that you'd be surprised to see I can actually get back in. But yeah, here, no, I think my good graces and luck have fallen out unless I really get out of my comfort zone and go. I don't fucking know. Like, I could put myself up on Grinder. You want a bit of rough, lads? Like, at this point, if the genders were swapped, I would really probably start dating someone for a short period of time, just so I could have their bedroom. And I'll just be past that and going, do whatever you want, just don't get into my hair. I am. It was really cool after hours and hours and hours of being on the bus to see New York again. I took a very nice picture of the sun coming up, and of course, you guys will be seeing it because I will have nothing to do once my laptop is charged. I'll find a place to sit down, and I will just live stream from that place that has Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi might be shit, in which case, fuck it. I might make a video. I mean, this will be probably it. This will probably be like Homeless Day 1, Homeless Day 2, Homeless Day 3. I'll make a little video of it each and every day, or at least a vlog at the end of it. But at the same time, I won't want to do that if I haven't slept. I mean, if I find a place, I'll do a 24-hour stream. I could do a 24-hour stream tomorrow if you guys want. But I think I'm going to be staying up enough as it is. But no, I'm in a kind of scary place right now. And I'm not worried about someone jumping me either. That's a weird thing. A lot of people be thinking that. I know the areas to avoid. I know the areas to stick to. You go to the tourist trap areas. Because the great thing about New York, the tourist trap areas are open 24/7. So you're always going to be around. I'm probably going to spend a lot of time in Times Square. Central Park. One thing's for sure, this trip, tons of walking. Tons of walking. And of course, don't forget St. Patrick's Day. I'll have money in the account for St. Patrick's Day. So, hell yeah. But it's just finding a place to sleep will be the hardest thing to do. And like at least 4 hours, and I'll need at least 4 hours of rest. So I don't know where I'll go. I mean, 4 hours of sleep ain't much, but hell, if it worked for Margaret Thatcher, it'll work for fucking me. I mean, okay, she went schizophrenic at the end, um, and no, she had dementia when she died actually, so that probably didn't help. In fact, the doctor says exactly related to it, but I could do it for a week. I mean, we all got to go at something. And if it's not going to be liver failure, then that's another thing. I'm actually going to be tactically drinking from here on out as well. I mean, it's just gone midnight here. 1st of March. Rabbit, 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 by the way. That's what we say at home. I have no safety net now. Tomorrow onwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's about 6 days. Week 1, and then 4 days week 2. So this is going to be after that. 1, 2. See, also one thing I found out about this. Here's a little trick, by the way, folks. In general, hostels and to a lesser degree hotels, what they do is on the weekend they raise the prices. So it just is a rule, they go up in price. So if you ever want to book a hostel, book it for the week, not the weekend. That sometimes includes Friday, sometimes doesn't, so you'd have to check your individual one. But yeah, I'll have about, I don't want to say how much I'll have on the 11th if I ration my money and don't do something too stupid. But that should be enough then on the 11th then to book a place, and then afterwards on the 17th we have St. Patrick's Day, and then I've got a place, the original hostel that I set up. Haven't paid for that, but I get paid on the Tuesday on the 17th, so then I'll just pay for that, have the money put aside, and I will be back on the 21st on a Saturday. Weirdly enough, I couldn't get a flight. The same reason I couldn't get a flight coming into Dublin, out of Dublin, I couldn't get a flight into Dublin. I have to transfer through London. It's fucking ridiculous. Any Irish person be watching this be like, wait, you couldn't get a flight to JFK from Dublin? No. Maybe it was like the first sign that something weird was going on. Now, unless something amazing happens on this trip, the rest of this trip, I can actually now lay out my favorite cities, bar this time in New York, because this time in New York's been all right. I've only been here for 2 days. Most of the day I sat right here on this bed, sending emails out, trying to catch up with people on Facebook and the like. The first day I was exhausted as fuck. I didn't get any sleep coming in from Cleveland. Any sleep at all on the bus. But my favorite city so far is tied between Omaha as a rule and Cleveland. Had a great time up in Toronto too. So, I think this is the first year where Omaha was not included. And I'll tell you why. Omaha, I had no money, as you know. And I also didn't have, I didn't really fit in there that time around. It was Valentine's Day. I was staying with a couple. We didn't get to do half as what we did. I did get to see some JoJo for the first time. I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would. I still kind of hated it, but yeah, no, they between them working and the fact that I was kind of getting in between couple time, I kind of got the vibe that they were counting down the clock. Although when I left, I found out someone was willing to put me up. That's been the story of this trip. Everyone comes around and says, I'd have paid to put you up. You could have stayed with me. Somebody, I won't say who, rather a big name, on YouTube, actually reached out and said, why didn't you say anything? I'd have given you a flight. All I'm going to say, West Coast. And I was like, what? Really? Okay. You knew about this. So, what the fuck? Why didn't you say this to me a week earlier? You're only after someone brought it up did he remember and then send the message out to me. It was a nice thought. It really was, and he donated some money too. Um, but yeah, when I get my life back in order back in Ireland, I will be making my plans for the West Coast, and he is definitely on the list. So is everything else I want to do on the West Coast, from Vancouver all the way down to seeing Chase and Jay, as well as Ryby. I've got a good friend by the name of Carmen. She lives in Portland. She was looking forward to meeting me. And of course, my uncle in LA. 3 months. That'll be America 2022, because I could do it by 2021, but I've got to find my own accommodation. And then I've got to save. And this time I got to do it right. On the plus side, this has made me live very frugally, and I like that. I really do. Got me introduced with couch surfing. Went hashtag dude Rose. If you could set up a GoFundMe, get me a teleportation pad. Even if I don't get enough money to make it happen, I'm sure I could use that money to buy myself a few nights in a dingy little place, someplace up in Harlem. In many ways, I am as close as I could possibly be to Ireland right now, and I'm quite literally an oceans away. I almost wish that I could hop on a tram ferry and pay for it by mopping floors and moving boxes for like 14 weeks, because turns out, oh, they go to Dublin next year. But no, this shit, like I said, oh yeah, so New York. So yes, all right. So it was Cleveland and Toronto. I liked Toronto because I met some interesting people up there. Won't say who, but I had a great time with them. Plus, I got some poutine. Can't go wrong with a bit of poutine. And I liked Cleveland because I met some very interesting people, and I got some very interesting offers thrown my way. I'm not gonna lie, I might follow through before the end of my life, which may facilitate me coming back here. But it was too big a decision to immediately jump on. And before anyone wonders, no one asked me to marry them. I think. I was reading, one of the offers had that sort of feeling to it. He was very sort of like read between the lines, I like you, sort of thing. And I'm like, I don't know how to process this, man. I've got a lot on my plate right now. But yeah, Cleveland was great. Toronto was great. Chicago, I didn't do Chicago justice either time I was there. Not enough money and not enough money. I got to see. I met some cool people in in Chicago. I met some amazing people in Chicago, actually. If you follow my Instagram, it's there's a one where I'm there with a woman by the name of Rebecca, and she basically just kept me fed and entertained on the bus ride up from Indianapolis, and I had a great time in Indianapolis too. But it's again not Indianapolis, Bloomington, Bloomberg, a good old town of Bloomberg, for one of the greatest presidents you had never had. But yeah, Bloomington, that was a great time too. That was where I made a major financial fuck up. That's where I booked the flight for LA. And I did not put that down there. It changed in front of me, and I'm like, wait, what? No, 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 no. And I should actually be receiving that godsend, let me tell you. Even if I get it back in Ireland, I'm sure I'm going to put it to good use. And no, not immediately booze. Sometimes booze. Sorry, that was stupidly checking something. There we are. Better quality stream all round. Even though I still look like I'm in the early 2000s. Actually, right now I do look like a neckbeard from the early 2000s. I'm basically just going like, so I don't like that new Kingdom Hearts game because it doesn't have the character I want. Also, if they put a black man in the White House, it'll be the end of America. And that's what I remember early YouTube to be like. Fight me if I'm wrong. It'll bring up drama. Anyway, yeah. I've been out of the loop for a lot of stuff. I'll tell you how much out of the loop I have been. I've been out of the loop so long with the whole YouTube stuff that the last time I properly watched up to tonight a DP or DP related episode of anything properly. I might have tried to tune in a few minutes at a bar once or twice, and I couldn't. You can see the alcohol at work now on my cheeks. The last time anything like that happened, I was it was Billy going up to the courthouse and failing miserable at it. He had a big suit on and he was going to go up, and that failed. And then there was a whole drama about it because apparently he didn't fail because I didn't watch the whole thing because it was a 5-hour long stream. No one knew that shit was going to happen. And then he went up to Onision's house and he couldn't really give Onision any sort of concrete criticism, and everyone got pissed at him. And then it was just shit going on and on like that. And since then, I don't fucking know what's been going on. I know everyone hates Chris Hansen now over shit. At least the Onision stuff is dying down. I watched a DFF episode a few days ago. That was a nice, refreshing change of pace. I actually watched a few of them back to back. I'm really out of the loop. I can't remember the last time I watched a fucking Hannah and Jake video. So did you guys hear about this dumb thing this person said? Wasn't it stupid? 2008, that's still YouTube to this day. Unless I'm really out of the loop, that is still fucking YouTube to this day. It is still, that's all that is. It's just now those same people have opening titles and maybe they're at a desk. Was that a reference to TJ? No, it wasn't a reference to TJ. TJ doesn't need a desk. I mean, I haven't even been able to keep up with like Jay next to the goddamn garage door. Speaking of early 2000s TJ. Oh, I said there was an interesting story to this. You can't see it here, and for some reason this wants to just be messy. But there's a little name tag here by the name of Carla. And I had got a one of those Starbucks water bottles, and my plan was to fill it up with Fireball and Coke, basically what I'm doing here, and have it on the bus ride. So I got on the bus, and I had left it back in the Starbucks. So I was super pissed off, and I was there for the entire goddamn trip. kicking myself when suddenly, lo and behold, literally the seat that I was on had this dangling off. And I was like, ooh, but it could belong to someone. So I waited till everyone got off and the bus driver was staring at me like, get the fuck off this bus. And he didn't say that, but I just saw those eyes. That's what he was thinking of. And I took it with me. And it has been a loyal companion ever since. Sorry, today it's usually Puss as Lib Cook owned and it's the same principle, Rose. It's the same thing. Ha 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 ha. Isn't that stupid? I suppose they don't swear as much. They don't like insult or derogatory term as much. Like I remember the term retard in many titles of like really early videos. Let's think of all those people who never were YouTubers. They never like really became it, but they would like interact with other people. There was this dude in Cleveland. He's a research assistant because if you don't know, Cleveland has a lot of like schools and shit. And he basically went to he talked to me at that bar I was at, Panini's. I went there a few times. I met some great people there. But he was one of them. He was an interesting man. But when I mentioned he was YouTube, when I mentioned I like have a YouTube channel and I do this sometimes, he went like, "Oh wow, I remember that. I was a kid when this stuff started to happen. No one still does that anymore, right?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? Still does it? Like, have you never heard of PewDiePie or like fucking was it Jeffree Star?" And he's like, "Yeah, but they don't do YouTube. They do other things. Maybe Jeffree Star does, but like fucking Philip DeFranco, I know used to be an actor, but no one gives a shit about that anymore. Everyone just wants to see him talk about random stuff throughout the week." I also have to now start lowering my voice because it's after midnight and I don't know when the guy next to me sleeps. He is he's very cool. He's to date my first and only couch surfer who ever wanted me to stay over. Couch surfing is very odd. It is a very odd website because in many ways it's a lot like online dating, but you can be completely open about your preferences. The amount of douche bros, especially here in New York, who literally will just put down female only, thinking like it's some sort of dating website, or male only, either way. Others will be like, "Hey, buy me and my girlfriend some weed and some wine, and listen to our stories." Others will be talking about their Jesus stuff. So it's not like Airbnb where there's a bunch of laws saying that you can't, well, rules to say that you can and cannot do shit. It's just absolutely fucking insane. So it's a lot harder to stand out, especially early on when you don't have any real like what do you call it? When you don't have any real references. Like he'll be my first reference. Really cool of him. He said he would even before I leave, he'll write up my first reference, and that makes all the difference in the world. I've gotten my first reference back from Airbnb, which was nice, but I may have also screwed the pooch in one direction. That's another thing I need to fix when I'm back home. But overall, he was still so damn nice to me. Got an email here. Bloop. But the other place I went to. Sorry about that. I didn't even tell you about fucking Chicago. Oh my fucking Christ. Chicago was just this nightmare? I wouldn't say a nightmare. I have never experienced That level of ghetto in my life. It was the south. It was the south side of Chicago. I must have been one of 5 white people in the entire area. I only saw about 3. I'm assuming one at least had a bloody partner who was also probably white. Or maybe not. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking care. All I felt out of place. And it wasn't because everyone was black, it was because I was white. The looks people would give me. Now I'm thinking maybe the outfit? Maybe. But it's just as likely they were like, what the fuck's this cracker man fucking doing out here? Saying that, they weren't outright hostile, except for the bar. The only time I went into the nearest bar, I really wish I didn't. Like they were actively just wanting me to leave really quickly. Which I did. I know when I'm not wanted. But as for the place I stayed at, oh my god, it was borderline criminal. It was borderline criminal. Because for starters, they completely lied about the shit I was like where I was actually staying. The place was this. We're going, man. You know, if I was still there at this point, I'd just say fuck it. I'd just say fuck it. I'd just go full on hard R, or maybe hard A, just to emphasize the fact I'm not saying the word right, and just see how long before one of them makes a move to me. But the place was a dive. The place was overbooked like crazy. That's the first thing. That's why I'm saying it's illegal. The amount of people who turned up looking for accommodation, that this wasn't happening. There was constant fighting going on, loud music playing. The only other white guy, Dermot, he was. This is my room, by the way. It's a big empty room, and I like that. It gets a nice echo. But where that chair is over there is where his bed was, and it was. I think he actually might be the worst snorer I've ever met. And I've met a few snorers in my time, let me tell you. Oh, hey, Darker Elite. I was just talking about how the fact I'm going to be homeless. There's now a 90% chance that's going to happen, and I am processing it in my own stupid way. So I'm getting drunk on Fireball. I'm also regaling people with some of the more interesting stories that I can tell. Some of them involve sex, so I'm not going to involve you with those. Others involve, well, in this case, the place in Chicago. So he snored like a motherfucker. They had no internet there. They had, I heard the occasional gunshot. I've actually also heard an occasional gunshot here as well. Last night, I swear I heard at least one. Apparently, this area is full of gang-on-gang violence. When I went up to this place to get something to eat yesterday, when I was trying to find it and I bypassed it completely, I went all the way up to the top of the street here and Holden, and sure enough, the building across the way the day before had been burnt to the ground. Well, not burnt to the ground, been burned out hollow. They'd put up all these sort of boards everywhere, and there were people inside dragging shit out. The barman there said, when I was gandering for a drink, big shock, said that it had happened when he had been on his shift. So that was a hell of an experience for him. The liquor store that I got this from, this Fireball, 3 people have been shot there over the last 6 months. A lot of buildings I see are boarded up or closed down. This is a dying part of town. This is a dying city. Um, Maybe not all in New York, but definitely this part of New York. Don't get shot. So far, you've seemed to have a decent handle on this, or maybe you can matrix all. We just don't know yet. Absolutely. Or maybe my bullet is waiting in some tweaker's pocket as we speak. Maybe he's in the financial district right now, trying to bum smokes off a doorman who's looking at him like, "Sir, would you please move away?" Um, but oddly enough, getting shot is not the thing I'm scared of. If I was Enton, I'd be terrified of a blade more. Maybe it's more visceral. You get stabbed, and you look down, and there's a moment where you don't feel much, and you just see the blood start flowing. A gun will probably knock you on your ass. I'm also terrified of like things that could still stab you, but aren't necessarily blades. Things like, say, a broken bottle or a heroin needle. A heroin needle is fucking terrifying because even if you only get pricked with it, yeah, you're probably now got AIDS. That was actually that's a thing in Ireland back in the 90s when there was a lot of heroin junkies going around. Um, the kids used to actually get a needle and threaten them with it. Like they go up to randos and just give us your purse or I'll fucking give you a heroin. Which, some of the people would be like, heroin or a sharpened pencil. Yeah, you get that shit into your fucking eyes, you're gonna die. Imagine then you get to heaven and you'll be like, so how did you die? Pencil. It's like that scene from Riddick where he's in the prison and he's got the cup and everyone laughs, but he smashes it and jams it into the guy's chest. He falls over and he picks up a single pin and he's like, "You want to see what I can do with this?" That shit, like, anything can fucking kill you. I was actually watching a few. I was reading a few days ago, like the most bizarre deaths, and there was this one Greek philosopher. He was terrified of dying of. He was told by a sage that he would get something falling on his head. So he went out to the middle of nowhere, and an eagle flying by had grabbed a turtle, and it tried to find the rock to drop it on to crack the shell open, and it saw his head and decided that was a rock. Obviously, probably not true. Well, probably not true, but I could see that shit happening. Hell, there was some crazy ones on that. There was a let's get more fireball down me before I continue. There was a guy in the UK, I think it was. Oh, that turtle was dead either way. Once that eagle grabbed it up, it was done and dusted. It must be so confused though, flying through the sky upside down. Like, wait, I was in the water a few minutes. What the fuck's going on? There was a guy in a council estate or a block of flats or something, and it was there. Everyone was being evicted. They were going to knock it down, and he thought it was so wrong that he actually ripped himself apart with a chainsaw. Like, how the fuck does anyone manage that shit? Another one died of was an actor. He died on stage. He didn't die on stage, but he is actually dying on stage of the same sickness he pretended to have. And when his wife found him afterwards, he was coughing up blood, and she took him and she put him into the same chair that night he had been rehearsing dying on in the play. Like, it's just some crazy ass motherfucking shit. I don't know why I wanted to read all that. Maybe because my mind was going to like really depressing places. Hold on. I think about death a lot. Universe is dark and gloomy, and there is no hope. Only I can see it. Oh. But anyway, me. Talk about you. Someone tell me something going on today. Wow. If I was a woman, this would kind of be hot looking. Less beard. Or maybe more beard if that's your thing. Whatever gets that content, you know. Actually thinking, what was the last time I did a live stream? Was it Indiana? It was. Jesus. That was a few weeks ago now. Damn. I was hoping to do far more live streams. Well, as long as I have a place to charge up my laptop, you'll probably be getting a lot more. Hope you all enjoy public Wi-Fi in New York. I'll go, at least I won't starve, that's for sure, because I'm probably going to just, especially if I find a routine to get a few hours sleep in, I probably won't, like, book a hostel or anything like that until I have more than enough money. So I'll end up having money in my pocket so I can at least go out and get something to eat. Not like massive restaurant sort of things, but if I want to sit down with a fucking bagel or a pizza pie, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I went to Chinatown in Chicago for my first time ever in a Chinatown. It was very Korean, oddly enough. There was a lot of Korean restaurants everywhere. Silly goose. Korea isn't China. Well, I almost finished the last part of the series of mine. I also had to kill a bear with a nickel. Probably don't hear about that. A bear with a nickel. Now, if it was a quarter and you only disemboweled it, I might have wanted to hear that story. Because that's a hard thing to pull off, but not impossible. I actually met somebody who claimed to have fought a bear, and the way he put it, it was drugged up like crazy. There was 16 people, and he just had to hold it. And I'm like, technically, you didn't do it yourself, but it was still a hell of an achievement. They were tagging it or something. I met a guy who claimed to have grabbed onto a moose after tried to gouge him. All right, so basically what he described was that he was working with the Canadian like the version of the Rangers, like the park rangers. And he was a part of this group that was to go out and basically tag them and track them. And there was one that had been killing a lot of tourists, like backpackers' dogs. So their job was to take it as far away from the area as possible, but they needed to drug it first. So they shot it with a tranq, and I don't know what his explanation was, but they decided while it was still awake, they needed to grab it. So a few people rushed in and started to like basically manhandle this bear, make sure its like limbs were pinned down and shit. Oh, I think one of them needed to inject it like further, like with a proper heavy dose, because it was still kind like they didn't get the range right. Because if you know anything about tranks, you need to actually judge the range for the damn thing to work. So his job, he said, was to get on its back and hold its head back. And he said even though it was like off its head, it was still kind of like easily able to shrug them off. They have bear claws after. I wish they did. I would like some bear claws right now. I'm actually right next to a Dunkin' Donuts. I could go up tomorrow and get one. I'm not quite sure what to do with myself tomorrow. I shouldn't really spend any money, but I don't have any shopping. So if I want to go out and get some food, I'm gonna have to go up around here, and that includes a Dunkin' Donuts. So maybe I'll get a Dunkin' Donuts. or a Popeyes, or there's a pizza place there that's all right. Not great. Or maybe I'll walk up to the actual store and pick up some food. Might be the best value for money. Or I could walk down the opposite direction. I think I passed some places that were open. I saw a lot of places that were selling gyros and gyros. Well, I got my first ever taco up in Cleveland. Everyone was speaking Hispanic, so I'm assuming it was halfway decent. But I didn't actually like them. I'm not gonna lie. It was, in case you were wondering, it was a soft shell, not a hard shell. So I don't know if that means that if they were good or bad. I got 3. Now I've had nachos before. I've had nachos all over the world. I like nachos. I don't like the artisanal nachos they make out these days. They simply put a salad on top of regular nachos. What's the point? If you want to have a salad, just get a salad separate and dunk it on top. Probably save you like $5 or $4. But I've had burritos today. That's all I've eaten. Actually, I thought they were, because they were pointing and laughing, but they weren't pointing and laughing at me. Instead, according to the girl I was with, who was actually buying me the tacos, she said that they were making fun of the new guy who was behind the store, not behind the counter there, and she was like, "You should be nice to him." And then she explained what they were all saying. She was cool. She said there was no real point for me to come here to New York. I could have stayed up there in Cleveland, but she would have had to basically put me up. There was nowhere else for me to go. There we are. I've had plenty of opportunities after the fact for people to basically turn around to me and say, "Hey, why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you do any? Why didn't you contact me?" And the thing is that they wouldn't have found out unless they were watching me. So I don't know, like, what the hell they were thinking about. What I'm thinking about is that I should change out this finger for this mic thing so I can reach my bloody booze closer to hand. Get it? American guy who thinks the Spanish is called Mexican. Can I have some taco, por favor? Well, actually, in all fairness, Mexican has devolved or devolved. Wow, has evolved in some respects. I once had someone describe like a slur to me in Spanish, like from Spain and Mexican. And I was just there like, what the fuck? Because one was like a 2-syllable thing, and the other one was like this massive tirade of an insult. The massive tirade of an insult was the Mexican, by the way. And actually, I'm now thinking of, if someone came in and said that to the dude on the counter, you'd be like, "Yeah, so what? You want taco? Yeah, you look up the board. Tell me what you want, huh?" No, I've had since coming here. I've had my fair share of Mexican food. I got myself some. I've even got myself some Argentinian food with the empalas, or empaladas, or whatever the hell they're called. And they were quite nice, but they're just basically what are they called? Cornish pasties. That's all they are. They're just smaller. Cornish pasties. Get yourself some Cornish pasties. Mm-mm-mm. Maybe not if you don't like turnip. They normally put turnip in every single one of them. You can get them without. I got myself a steak one that was really nice. Myself some burritos today, and that's about the only thing I've eaten. I wouldn't have even gotten those, but he doesn't eat meat, and he was given 2 of them by the last person who was here, so he had them in the freezer. So I reheated them, and they were quite all right. I think it was chicken or pork. I think it was pork. Anyway, no, I've had some great food here. I'm actually trying to think now of any food I've had that was shit. Because I've had nothing but good food. The worst I can say about any meal I've had over here is that it was just okay. Now, I've tried food that I would have tried anywhere in the world and wouldn't have tasted great. One of which, all right, believe it or not, I've never had asparagus before. Never had asparagus sauce. So, Jeremy, who was my host, fantastic motherfucker. He put me up. He made a huge meal on Saturday or Sunday for himself, and he made me tons of stuff as well. On some of which I said I never tried asparagus. I thought I tried asparagus, and I couldn't stand it. I was like, thing is, I would have tried that all over the world. So the pasta was nice, and so was the beef. That was pretty good too. I'm getting hungry, and there's nothing to eat, so that's stupid of me. Yeah, New York, I'm going to be not really able to experiment much. One thing I will be able to experiment with, I've never tried, was it a gyro before? So I'm going to go to the food cart and get a New York gyro. So you might actually get to, well, you won't get to see it, but you'll definitely get to experience it with me. The joys of food poisoning. Because it's only a matter of time before I run across a food cart across New York that is, let's just say, not up to code. Also, the hot dogs, they're better than Chicago here, but not by much. Cheaper. 2 hot dogs, huge jumbo hot dogs, and a Mountain Dew for $6. I don't need 2. So, because I'm not going to carry 2 with me, I'll just go to another bloody hot dog stand. It's New York, for God's sake. So I'll just end up wandering around New York with like all these pre-made foods in my bag. And that'll be dinner almost every day. And then I suppose on Wednesdays when I get paid, or Tuesdays, I don't care. Probably sick of pizza at that point. $1 pizza is glorious, but how much can you eat? I once did an experiment where I ate nothing but steak every day for a month. And at the end of it, it still tasted as good, but you couldn't have paid me to eat any more of it. Mm. There's the name tag. I'm going to keep that. One day I hope Carla sees this, comes to me and goes, give me my fucking water bottle back. And I'll be like, you must battle me for me. And that's how I'll die. She'll then take out the gun with the bullet with my name on it, and I'll die over a water bottle full of Fireball and Coke. Oh my god, I look like the host from the game The Black Hole. Welcome to the Black Hole. Hold on, wait. What? Do you dare disrespect the game master? Oh god, I miss those old games. And I miss those old those TV shows as well. Like, I don't know if Americans ever heard of them. There was a show called Nightmare in the UK, and it was fucking brilliant. They even had a reboot of it on YouTube. Same host, and all grown up now. The original and I what was it? Yeah, they were all grown up, and the original host came in. They used the original graphics and everything. It was just crazy. I thought I'd join the occult stream at first. Well, the thing about it is that, if I want to raise money, well, let's be honest here. I do look pretty good. I'm just making myself out, and I do kind of look like I could be a decent occult leader. I mean, I need to invest in a few things. I need to invest in some candles. Um, I need a whole robe ensemble. It couldn't just be the hoodie. Um, maybe get myself some red paint and draw some pentagrams everywhere. No, pentagrams are too obvious. Onks. We need some onks in here, but upside down. Because you know where, like, you put a cross upside down, it's evil. You put an onk upside down, it's evil. So, you have entered this domain. Do you seek enlightenment? If so, the cause must be fed, either in blood or donos. Donos, y'all. Onks. Oh, the Egyptian thing with it's like a little hand, and then it's like there's like a thing under it. Like, it looks like a cross, but it has like a head. You honestly have never seen an onk before. ANKH, isn't it? AN onk. Yep, that's the one. I do. Where's the nearest Arby's? To where I am, or to where you are? Because to me, actually, I don't think I'm actually near any. Ooh, I should actually find that out. I'm in the country, after all. I normally go to Arby's every single time I'm in America. This is the first time. There is actually two in Manhattan. Oh, the Loop Cross. Yeah, that's called an Onk. You make me think about Arby's. They're all closed this time of night. That sucks. 24-hour restaurant, New York City. Let's see what I'll have to live off. Outside of K-Town, where all the best barbecues strive. All right. No, this is like fucking fancy pants restaurants. I'm talking about like a McDonald's or some shit like that. Which places are open 24 hours? The Donut Pub? Uh. Mm. Mm. The diner in particular, I really want to go to. I don't think I've ever been to an American diner, just like the one that's sort of like cylindrical, silver. They're always offering you free coffee or like top ups. Cat's Delicatessen. Okay. Cafeteria, Chelsea. Sarge's Delicatessen and Diner. Cool. I worked for Arby's like 2 years. Never forget the time I had to buy for a salty baseball fan who was made. Jesus. So like, what happened? Was he just not letting that shit go and started picking a fight with you, or what? Also, bifurcate. Something tells me you didn't actually rip him up into two. So what do you do? Like just slap him over the head, or hit him so hard in the chest he might as well ripped in two? Hmm. Oh man, there's a place in Hell's Kitchen called Empada's Mama, and that looked pretty promising. So, what was the damage? Something tells me if you're ripped him in two, you wouldn't be having this conversation. You'd be currently not homeless. In fact, that's one thing. That's one thing someone in prison has nothing to worry about. They're not homeless. Let's have a look. A lot around. Oh, there's a lot of these 24-hour McDonald's around Patterson. You see, in Ireland, there's no 24-hour anything, not even like petrol stations. At least not the way you guys have it. They keep the petrol stations open, but it's kind of weird. Oh, Bayonne, you silly sausage. Um, all right, so at least I won't really starve to death. If push comes to shove, I'll just get the incredibly hot McDonald's coffee, and something tells me I won't be the only homeless person there. What about hospitals? Are you what? You think I should go and fuck myself up? Also, I know it's just how many people throughout the night. Hospitals aren't open 24 hour. They are, but one thing about me being homeless is that I don't have an excuse to not check out a lot of the things on display that I kind of missed last time. For example, I didn't get to go down to the Charging Bull and get some really good shots of like the Manhattan Bridge and the Brooklyn Bridge. Um, Also, any museums that are currently uh free, I would definitely up for. But yeah, yeah, the audio did cut out for a little bit. Is it okay now? Good. Um, no, to answer to say your question, are hospitals open 24 hours? They are, but again, you're gonna have to be in a pretty bad state of mind, or just in general, if your hospital's gonna be your home. You know, you'd have to something bad would have happened to you at that point. Uh, let's look at places in Manhattan. I don't even have to stay in Manhattan, obviously. I mean, for example, I get better prices on a lot of other things if I left Manhattan. And like I said, I've got a my travel pass, which is about $15 on it. And you know what? I think if I'm smart, once a week I'll put another $15 on it or more. I'll also learn just to simply walk from place to place. Museum of New York, Guggenheim. Oh, the Guggenheim. Damn cool. Like I went to the Met, as you guys saw, but I didn't get to go to the Museum of New York or the Solomon Guggenheim Museum. I should find out what days these are on free. At least in Chicago, once a week. These days, like some days are free. So I want to go back in and have a check. Studio Museum in Harlem. I also still don't really want to go north of Harlem. That was always my plan. Although there's the YMCA. Think they'd be able to put me up for the night? Probably not. I don't think they'll be able to put me up for the night. I mean, I can ask, but no. I mean, they have prices here of like $60. That's actually more expensive than some of the hostels I was looking at. I should really decide when I'm going to end this. It's been cool talking to people. I really appreciate the likes, but yeah, I'm currently in a bad way. I mean, just look at me. I look like fucking. Well, I look like I haven't had a shave or a haircut in like how many months? Particularly, I don't like what my hair does with this. If you haven't noticed it already, it kind of goes like chugged up on the side here. It kind of got its own little mesa plateau of hair. Fuck that shit. But yeah. So tomorrow, you've heard rumors that it's fun to stay at the YMCA. You know what? I've already been hit on, as is tradition. I've been hit on by at least one dude on this trip. 3 months, one dude. No, there should be at least one dude per month. So 2 more men should make passes at me. And I don't want to hear anything from the rest of yous, because quite honestly, you're all going to be like, huh, I'll do it for old time's sake. But you know better. I want like someone to look at me and go like, yeah, I want a piece of that. Oh, he's straight. Well, I do hope that he dies alone, not by me, but by themselves. Honestly, sometimes I think it'd be almost easier if I could just magically fake it. I'd definitely get more dudes anyway. More dude viewers, and more dudes basically donating. Or hell, at the very least, is giving me a place to crash. No, I think tomorrow I'm gonna stay in, save some money, and leave here on Monday. I have no idea when. Whenever he kicks me out, basically, I'll ask him tomorrow what time does he want me out, and in the meantime, I might do another stream, maybe in the daytime, America side, so you guys, I can actually give you a quick tour of the place. It's something. I can also finish off the rest of this booze because I'm not. It's not that I'm not feeling it. It's that it's not. It doesn't seem to be taking all that much to get me drunk. Probably because I haven't eaten that much all day. Like I said, I ate 2 burritos and that was it. Reheated burritos. Reheatos. There we are. Reheatos. But tomorrow I'll go out and get something to eat. And then on Monday, without breaking the bank. And then on Monday I should head up to the consulate. Can't believe I'm fucking saying that, but there you have it. Unless one of the last few people that I asked on couch surfing was back and was like, "Oh, of course I'll put you up. You look like you're in a bad spot right now." Couch surfing is designed more for like Eurotrash backpackers who have a lot of money in their pocket. So the idea of them having to put up a bum like me, and I might as well embrace it now. I am a fucking bum. Yeah, that's probably indignant to them at this stage. Oh no, he's poor. He'll probably steal things and not know how to work a toilet seat. That's what poor people do, right? Which, for the record, some of it is true. I think the best thing I can do right now is just plan my days out. After I leave the consulate, they'll I don't know. You know what even would be a nice thing for the consulate to do? At the end of your day, you can drop your bag off in the lobby and pick it up in the morning. I'd fucking love that. Because then at the very least, I have a little bit of god damn security going on. Plus, I don't have to carry a bag full of clothes around with me. Like, I can always head back to them. I don't know when they're open, but I can always head back. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It is rude to judge, but same time, if I see an opportunity, let's just say somebody's leaving a pie sitting by a window somewhere, and I walk by. Look, no offense, honey, or sir. Maybe you're testing out your pie baking abilities, but yoink. Damn, maybe I need to be homeless more often. Overall, I've been getting better consistency on the people viewing me than normal. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already done so, folks. And you know what else? Fuck it. One more time for good measure. The links down below, you'll find a link to our Discord, my Streamlabs, and PayPal, as well as my email, should you want to contact me with anything. I was kind of hoping I'd have a GoPro down there, but, well, that was a GoPro. GoFundMe. But that isn't going to happen. Quite honestly, I'm a bit financially ruined right now. But on the plus side, as long as it turns out that I end up getting a few hours sleep somewhere, this is doable. It won't be pleasant, but it's doable. And that's really all I can hope for these days. I have now 19 days before my flight. I can put my head down to someplace stable. On the 11th, maybe I'll find enough money altogether to make this reality. But I don't know. With Paddy's Day coming up, God almighty. And now I look like a medieval peasant. Sorry, your lordship. Turns out that lady who baked the pies is actually a deranged serial killer used them to bait her victims. Yeah, I could see that actually. We always assume that it's the person stealing the pie who's evil. We don't assume that with Hansel and Gretel. You know? Her whole house was a pie. And then they went and killed her in her own oven. Because that shit is scary. Almost as scary as the state I'm in right now. You want to see an example of what I look like this, what I normally look like? There it is. There it is. Get this shit up there. And you know what else? My beard, more often than not, is like in an angle. So like, let's just put it right up here. There I am in all my glory. Look at me. Look at me. Do not feel better about your own lives right now. And by the way, if I'm going to do one useful thing, hopefully it's waking you up to the fact that you could be here tomorrow. Not in this particular apartment, but you could still be here in this situation. Or maybe you've already been there. Welcome back to Low Energy Judgy. Preachy time. Who's ready for some preaching? Oh, God. Now, I've learned a lot while over here in the States. I'm going to learn a whole lot more before the end of it. A lot can happen in 19 days. Step 1. Survive till payday. Easiest of the steps. Because some of it, I'll be doing it indoors. Then I really only have to survive like 12 hours. Then Tuesday evening comes along, and at that point I've had the whole 2 days to figure out what to do with my money. Anyway, I'm actually gonna go another 12, 11-ish minutes just to get a nice round 2 hours in. I honestly have enjoyed spending time just rambling. I haven't been rambling as much. I've been rambling in bars. But the thing about bars is that they always want to ramble back to you. Fuck off. Fuck off. I ramble. Me. Everyone else kind of shuts up and listens. Or goes. I think I should go and watch a movie at some point. Oh, one thing. Get this. One thing I did not like. I really did on my account and put it into renewing my subscription. I didn't ask them to do that. I'm glad I have Netflix. I don't know when I'll have the luxury of watching Netflix, but I'm glad I haven't. Fucking dicks. I'm overdue watching BoJack, I suppose, but still, I could watch. No question, I could end up watching it in off Netflix beaten track. I don't know why I got distracted there. I was looking at Ryby Jenkins in a giant chair. She's just in a big giant chair and has a weed logo on the back. Here we go. They foolishly challenge you to a ramble off. Little do they know it's like an ad come against it. Yeah, it's because they force rambles out with alcohol. Me, I store my rambles up inside and wait until I'm drunk, and then unleash them like a tirade. The problem is, two rambles coming together is not a graceful experience. It is two tidal waves smashing together. Eventually, they coalesce into something else, but it's a rough time. My God, the suds. And for the record, enough ants can kill a tiger very easily. Motherfucking ants. Coronavirus shit. Actually getting really big in Ireland right now. Everyone's freaking out about it. Oh, I saw Biden won South Carolina. That makes me very angry, but doesn't make me think that, oh no, it's all over for Bernie. It does make me feel very angry. And there's also a huge storm in the UK right now, so there's a huge storm in Ireland. Weather doesn't get any better by the time I land. I could even have delays. Oh, here's one plus of the corona virus. NASA images show coronavirus shutdown has cleared China's pollution. Mm. All it needed was the threat of a horrible death to massive drop of carbon monoxide. Idea. Eh. I'm so glad, by the way, I kept some games on this. When I was in Chicago and I had no money, it was too cold outside. I could hear people fighting outside and inside as well. I needed something to distract myself, and I had smartly, that's a real word, kept a few games, including Heroes of Might and Magic on this thing. And I actually beat a game on Heroes of Might and Magic. It was a glorious moment. I'm also going through a complete playthrough of the of New Vegas. I think when I get back to Ireland and I have nothing but time, what I might do is I might replay Vegas without any commentary over the game and just have the entire game playthrough from start to finish. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, I did say gaming will come back eventually to the channel. It's just. And it turns out most people think of me when I think of gaming is trucking, which makes sense. So at some point, once I get my computer set back up at wherever the hell I end up living, yeah, I'm gonna have to get that DLC for Utah. So expect Mormons and trucks. Yay! Mormon trucks, truck Mormons, yeah. All right. It's less than 5 minutes, but I kind of just want to zone out with some YouTube and just crash. It's great catching up with you, and I know this hasn't been the most cheerful. I've been trying to keep it cheerful, trying to keep it happy. But as it stands, I'm in a bad place right now. So, like I said, anything donated will be greatly appreciated. Though not obviously, as always, even now, not required. Not that I could enforce it anyway. If you could share around the idea that, I'm kind of in a bad spot. If you know anyone who'd put me up in New York, if you are someone who would put me up in New York, my link for my email is down below. Do reach out. I won't bite. At this point, I'll probably kiss. So I don't know if that appeals to you any more or less than. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Overall, I'm wowed by the love I've gotten over here. In every sense of the word. I just went onto my email, my Gmail, and a YouTube copyright claim was created for Low Energy Endurance Stream Part 2. Even now, those fucking vultures will never let me go. Anyway. Google, you pieces of ass meat. Please like, share, and subscribe, Google. And sub to me, Google. And change the algorithm to get people to sub to me. Just millions of people. Billions of them. But more money than sense. Actually, they can have sense. If there's billions of them, if each one of them gives me a cent, I'll be alright. Anyway. I think I'm done. I don't know when I'll upload next. I was thinking of doing a stream tomorrow. If you see a stream tomorrow, don't be a stranger. If not, I'll upload something, probably an update to what happens with the consulate. So, yeah. And if you're wondering about the actual video, the videos, the Chicago video looks like it's never going to happen at this rate. There's so many moving parts. I can explain more about it at another time. I can put together like the best of Chicago, at the very least. But it looks like a lot of it is now already lost. Cleveland, the only interesting thing about Cleveland was the museum that you guys might like. So I'll try to get that up going. But again, I will see. As for New York, you're going to probably experience that a lot of live streaming or individual short videos of like a few seconds long. I don't know. I really don't know. But I'll try to give you more of these at the very least. Say, as a proud Irishman, I believe I'm being discriminated because of my proud heritage and demand compensation. Damn fucking right. I'll also throw in the fact that I have mental disability and that I'm partly Jewish. Might just tip the balance. If that happens, I'll make a stream. It'll basically just be entitled, YouTube is amazing. You'll know what happens then. Rose, you will know what happens then. As for the rest of you, thank you so much for watching. If you like the stream, do give it a thumbs up. Do share it. Do subscribe. And right now, I hate to say it because it sounds like such a fucking tool thing to say. Please, anything you could donate, $1. You'll find the links of it down below. You'll also find our Discord down there. I try to upload, or at least update whenever I can. So, with that said, I'm out. Take care. It's been fun. Nice bit of nostalgia.